Hello, I'm back. Welcome back to Anna and the Aardvark. I'm Anna, he's the Aardvark, and we went away for a little while, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So, without further ado, oh no, I have to say a few things first, don't I? So, welcome back if you are a subscriber, or if I remind you to watch. If you're new, hello and welcome. This is the house of fun. I think that probably sums us up. You know, a nearly 50-year-old woman who has a toy aardvark and does I wanted to call it a podcast, a vlog with a stuffed animal. Anyway, you are more than welcome. So yes, I had a break. It was quite a long break. I think we're nearly at 2 months since the last one that I made. The last video was after I came back from Ely, where me and my mum and dad had a spectacular time. However, now it's 2 months later and I've been away again. So before I tell you about that, why do I have a break? Because those of you who know, those of you that don't, I have ME, and sometimes everything just gets too much and I need to go and hibernate for a few weeks and not really do very much at all. Most of my days are spent in bed. I'm having quite a hyper day today, so I am in my studio, which is my fancy word that I use for my sitting room. I think it's fair to say it is more studio than sitting room now. So I've got 2 desks in here. I've got a dry desk and a drawing desk. My dry desk is where I do all my computer work, and the drawing desk tilts up and down so it can be used for anything arty really whatsoever. But the thing that still just about makes it a sitting room is that there is a sofa and a TV in it. Oh, and a coffee table. And the kitchen's just over there. So it is still really a sitting room, but I'm a bit fancy schmancy and I'm going to call it my studio. So anyway, I got sidetracked then. Oh yes, ME and being in bed. And today I am feeling rather bouncy, and this is not going to go well in a couple of days, because when this happens, I do too much, and tomorrow I'll be okay, and then I will crash on Saturday and I will feel like rubbish. But while I'm feeling good, I thought it's about time I got myself on a vlog and remind you that I'm still alive. So if I try and calm down a bit and slow down a bit, I went to Mallorca. That's what I did. I went with my darling parents and we had a fabulous time. Really, really nice. We stayed in a townhouse, which we have not really done before. We've never been to Mallorca before either. But normally normally my dad would drive when we were abroad, and we would get like a villa, you know, with a nice swimming pool or a garden, you know, that sort of thing. But this time, he's now decided he's not going to drive abroad anymore. And to be honest, with their driving, I don't blame him. It's scary. It's really scary how they drive abroad. Mind you, they probably think that about the way that we drive here on our motorways. Anyway, we flew off to Mallorca, and the townhouse was stunning. It was like this tiny door on a little street. And the place was huge, it was massive, you know. There was like this big sitting room, big old kitchen diner, and then out the back there was even a little swimming pool in the middle of a town, you know. It was great, really, really great. We had a lazy holiday, a very lazy holiday. We didn't get on a bus and go shopping or exploring or anything, mostly because it was so hot. I struggled. I don't normally struggle in the heat too much, but my goodness, we had temperatures of around 35 degrees Celsius every day, but it felt like it was 41. That's what our phones were telling us. So 41 degrees is pretty hot, and then when you whack on 70 to 80% humidity, all you want to do is sit indoors in the shade and drink a beer. And we did a lot of that, and that was really fun, really fun. But it was good. We did enjoy ourselves. We went to various restaurants, and in one of them, my dad and I have discovered, what's it called? Truffle mashed potato. Oh my word. Talk about next level cookery. Fat steak, buttery mash with truffle oil in it, and tiny julienne, I think that's what they call it, teeny tiny chopped up bits of stir-fried vegetables. Oh my goodness, talk about the nicest, yummiest thing ever. And their puddings, just beyond yum. Came back a little bit more chubby, but who cares, it was fun. So yeah, the food was great. And the town was really interesting. They had this enormous church. Honestly, I've never seen anything quite as big in just a town. You know, it was sort of, it wasn't nearly cathedral size, but it felt really cavernous. And they had some amazing stained glass in there, honestly. And with the really bright sun shining through it, oh, it was dreamy. It was so good. So yeah, Mallorca was good, and in the midst of all these problems with airlines cancelling, we didn't have any trouble at all. Well, we did with the special assistance side of things, but that's another story. Let's not visit that. We got there and we got back. That's what's important. So that was really cool. Unfortunately, well, no, fortunately, while I was there, I had a big injection of energy, which seems to be the way when I go abroad, suddenly I don't have ME anymore, which is fab. You know, I get 2 weeks of being normal again and enjoying what I'm doing and running around the place and, you know, just living life. But it didn't last this time. Do you remember last year when I went to Gran Canaria? It lasted for a week or two when I got home. Not this time. We've been back 2 weeks, I think now, and it took me over a week to shake off the tiredness and the yuckiness of traveling, and that's really why I haven't been doing this vlog, because I just haven't been able to be honest. But that has gone now, although like I said, I think I'm in for a crash tomorrow and Sunday. Oh my word, I tell you, living with ME, there's never a dull moment. So what else? I've got big news. I've got big sad news, sort of sad news. The comic project. That was good, but I dropped out because of tiredness and stress. The deadline was too tight, and I realised that there just wasn't any way that I could make it happen to the best of my ability within that time scale without getting very stressed. So I had to stop, and it was hard, and I was sad. I'm not sad anymore because I know that I've got really good material and I will finish it. I have to finish it. I've started it, and I feel it's so good it's worth doing. So I will get back to it at some point. I have other projects that are going on in the background, as I always do. I'm going to show you my latest fun thing that I did. It is a collage of a space invasion. Can you see that? Yeah, there we are. So that is all collaged, and I made all of the textures on that picture using a jelly printing plate. Now, if you don't know what one of those is, hang on a minute, hang on. I guess I just showed you my bum, right? Lucky you. So, this is a jelly plate, and it's got the weirdest kind of talcum powder smell that's kind of nice but not nice. If you've got a jelly plate, go and sniff it and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, this is a wibbly wobbly Jelly plate. Now, jelly is spelled G-E-L-I, no, G-E-L-L-I. And basically, it's very, very easy to do a simple print. You put acrylic paint on here with a roller. And then if you're making a pattern, say you want to draw with your finger like a happy face on it, you do that. Then you lay a piece of paper on it, and then you smooth it down with your hand or with a roller, and then you peel the paper off and you have a print. And when it prints off, it pulls all the paint off the plate itself. So you can print again straight away. You don't have to always wash the plate before you print. It is so much fun. It's very addictive, very addictive. You'll think to yourself, right, I'm going to make 1 or 2 textures for this piece. I ended up with my whole floor covered in bits of texture. And all to make that. It is big fun, and I recommend you try it. I really, really do. Num 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 num. What else? What else? Oh yes, that's the other thing I need to talk about. I feel like I've got show and tell today. I have a friend called Ali. Hello, Ali Boda. I love embarrassing my friends by saying those things. Now then, we have a constant conversation about special educational needs for 2 reasons. First of all, obviously I'm autistic and she has dyslexia. I hope you don't mind me telling everybody that, Ali. I mean, you're quite open about it. And we look out for things for each other to look at on things like Facebook or on the internet. And I saw on Facebook there's a new selection of books that have been written specifically for young children about things like autism and like dyslexia and ADHD, hearing issues, visual issues, you know, those sorts of children's books to help them understand those problems. And I got so excited because the one about autism was called Alice and Aardvark with Autism. Here we are, Anna and the Aardvark, autism. The book is about me and him. If we had a love child, that's the book. That's a really weird thing. Anyway, I didn't buy the book. I just told Ali about this selection of books and I said, these are incredible. It's amazing. And do you know what the sweet lady did? She posted me my very own copy of Alice. No, Alice, not Alex, Alice. And the other really, really cool thing was I said to Ali, it has got the most amazing font in it. The writing is beautiful. And I've never seen the font before. So I showed it to Ali. And apparently it's open dyslexic font. And it's special because, I don't know if that's focusing. There we are. It's special because it helps people with dyslexia to read it easier. I don't know how it works, but that's the thing. So I made that decision that whenever in my life I actually finally publish something, I'm going to publish it in this font, open dyslexia font, open dyslexic font, one of the two. I've got it written down. That's always a good thing. So yeah, well happy with that book. And another thing that I saw on Facebook around disability was somebody else's range of books about a group of kids who have got, some of whom have got disabilities, some who haven't. And they're called the Diffability Bunch. The diffability. I love that so much. I mean, it's such a better word than disability. Like, I have no ability, but this is diffability, different ability. And that is, it made my heart sing. It really, really did. Did I tell you that I'm really hyper today? Does it show? Anywho, What's next on the list? The next on the list is the Women's Euro football competition is on at the moment. We've got 3 weeks of women's football every single day. Oh, apart from a couple of rest days. There are matches on at 5 o'clock and there are matches on at 8 o'clock. I am such a happy bunny. I like football, can you tell? I do, I like football. But I like women's football, especially. And I printed off a schedule. What do we say in this country? Is it schedule? Whatever. I know when they're playing. And I also printed off a special, I want to call it a worksheet, but let's call it a score chart, yeah. So I can write all the scores in, and then I can write in who's in the quarterfinals, who's in the semi-finals. I was saying to my dad earlier that way back when there was a World Cup, I can't remember what year it was, but I was very little, around maybe 5-ish, I don't know. But Ladybird Books brought out a special edition book for the World Cup. And I remember that me and my brother had the book. Not each, not in those days, we had one between us. And every day we took it in turns to write the scores in. And I remember that so clearly. It's such a lovely, lovely memory that when I found out that the Euros was starting, I was like, right, I need a score chart. I need to write them down. You know, I wish Ladybird would do a book every year. I really do. I would have a big collection of them. So what else can I talk about? Let's talk about Boris next. I do have another big piece of news, but let's do Boris first. As you probably all know, Boris has resigned as the Conservative Party leader, but not as PM. Now that's a problem. I am very anti-Boris, and I have been from the beginning. And I don't mind it saying that. I assume that most people have strong views on it. Those are my views. For the last two days and a bit of the evening, I have been watching television the whole time, apart from sleeping, obviously. But I have been glued to the telly, so if you've got any questions, do ask, because I am now a suitable candidate for University Challenge on Boris Johnson's resignation. But yeah, I'm very pleased that it's come about, and I just really hope that he gets ousted properly before the summer recess, so that we can get something in place that's better and safer before that length of time when they're not supposedly in Parliament. I'm worried in case he uses this last bit of time to do some very dodgy things that are not going to help our country. But we'll see. We will see. A lot of my friends have been asking me to update them over the last few days, so that's been fun. Lots of texting going on. I've been constantly charging various bits of machinery. However, it's over, so now I can chill out and I can relax a bit. This is one thing about autism that sometimes is not great, is you get fixated on something, and no matter how hard you try, you can't switch off from it. You just have to see it through to the bitter end. And that happened with the whole Boris thing today. I'm pointing over there because that's where the telly is and it's on. You can't hear it because the sound's off, but it's on. So anyway, so yeah, that's one thing that I find hard. They call it hyperfocus, where you just zone into something and you forget about everything else that you're meant to be doing or have said you'll do. You know, it's not, it can be really good if you're really into something, you know, and you really want to finish a project, or you're really interested in what you're reading, or, you know, whatever. But when it's something like that, it's good because it satisfies your curiosity, but it's also quite exhausting. And I think this is probably why I feel so hyper, because I've been so zoned in on something and now I've let it all go, and it kind of all culminates in a big and then there'll be a few days of that's an ugly face. Okay, so let me explain. I know that's an ugly face because when I'm recording, I'm looking at a screen and I can see exactly what you're seeing. So I know that if I go, hello, that's what you're gonna see. So yeah, I know that's ugly. Okay, so the final bit of news is my new bathroom beast. But on the way, we are going to look at the kitchen. Okay, so hang on in there. Let's go. So, do you remember the kitchen used to be blue? And then I told you that it had been painted. This is the new look kitchen. It's all nice and white. So I'm very pleased about that. Anyway, bathroom beast, come on. Here we go, through my flat. Oh, if you haven't seen my flat before, here's my bedroom. Here's my studio. There's 2 desks, you see. Dry desk, art desk, sofa, TV over in the corner. Anyway, back to the beast in the bathroom. Dun, da, 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 dun. Here she is. That, my friends, is a bath lift, and that is my bath step. Yes, it is a chair in the bathroom. So the deal with that is oh, interesting. I haven't done this for you before. This is fun. I'm going to sit down before I fall down. That's probably a good idea. Right, let's get you set up again. There we go. Right. So, the deal with that monster in the bathroom is, because of my ME, there are days when I cannot have a bath. And sometimes there are large runs of days when I cannot have a bath. And nobody likes to be a stinky minky, right? So, I've survived just about with wet wipes. That will do when you need it to do. However, I find bathing really hard. Getting in is fine, but then when you've had a bit of a lie down in the bath and then you've had a wash and it's nice and warm and you're all relaxed, the strength is not there to get out safely. Most days I'm okay, I can do it, but there have been times when I have fallen, I have slipped, I have crawled out of that bath because I overestimated what I could do. So ages ago, I think 6 months ago, I rang social services for a needs assessment. And basically I was after help with cleaning the flat, help with cooking, help with laundry and help with bathing. Now, admittedly, back then I was a lot worse than I am now. That was when I was still bedbound. Now I have moved up a notch and I am now only housebound, which is a big difference and a good difference. But the problems with bathing still remain. So I rang them up and they said, basically, you're too young to qualify for anything. How that works, I don't know, because at the time, I could barely function. Anyway, they did say what they would be prepared to do was to come out and do a bathroom assessment. Now, they did that 2 days ago, 2 days, 3 days. Oh, excuse me, that was a biggie. It's because of the smell of the jelly plate. Yeah. Anyway, where are we at? Assessments. They came, and was it? Yeah, it was late. It was Thursday last week. That's it. And they came. She came. And she wanted to see how I get in the bath, how I get out the bath, what I hang on to, how I hang on to it, and all of that sort of thing. And I thought I was just going to get okay, I don't know what just happened, but something stopped. Oh well. So here we go again. She came and she assessed me, and she looked at how I went into the bath and how I tried to get out of the bath. what I hung on to, what I couldn't hang on to, how I crawled, whatever. And I thought I was going to get like a pull bar here and a pull bar there and I could just pull. No, she said no, because if you're tired and you're clumsy, which I am when I'm tired, I'm really clumsy, she said that ain't gonna work. So I recommend that we put a chair in that goes down and up. It's got a little button thing that you press, and it's great. It's really fun. The only thing is I'm not allowed to use it until she comes out again to show me how to use it. But the man who installed it today showed me how to use it, so of course I jumped on it and had a go. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I didn't get it wet or anything, but I did have a quick go, and it is really fun. So I don't know when she's going to come and tell me that I can use it, but somehow I guess I just have to wash in the sink until she comes, because it's in the bath and I can't have a bath because I'm not allowed to use it, probably because of insurance reasons. So anyway, however, I'm very excited about it. Oh, and I was going to tell you about the step. The reason that there's a big fat chunky step in there is because she had me sit down on a hard chair and she measured the distance from the back of my knee to the bottom of my heel to see whether, basically, would my feet touch the floor if I was sitting on the seat and it was at the same height as the side of the bath. So basically you transfer from the side of the bath onto the seat. Now, because I'm a short ass, my feet don't touch the ground. So she had me get a stool as well, which makes it really look disabled in there. I mean, I embrace the fact that, yeah, it's a disability and a chronic illness and all that stuff, but it really does look a bit disabled in there now. And if you want to come round to my house and have a shower, you can't, because there's a great big bloody electric chair in the bath. So, there we go. But I am very grateful, because obviously the great and the good NHS has provided this for me, and it is going to make so much difference. Not only will it be safe bathing, but it can be everyday bathing now, even if I'm feeling really weak. So I'm really chuffed about it. So thank you very much, NHS. You've done a good one. So on that good note, I'm going to go now, because it's 7:10 and I really need to calm down, because I'm not going to sleep tonight if I don't try and calm down, and I'm really excited and I want to tell you about so many other things. I'm looking around and I go, oh, look at this and look at this. But one last thing, I do have to show you one last thing. Right. I am trying to get into sketchbooks, doing sketchbooks. I hate sketchbooks, but I think it's a necessary evil. And for some of the stuff that I do, I think it's necessary as well. But the problem is when I sit down to do sketchbook stuff, I never know what to do in the sketchbook. I do have a list of stuff, but I still dither over it. So I have decided to use a dice. I bought this on eBay with 9 others. It was something ridiculous, like £1 for 10. You can't buy one dice, you have to buy a whole pack. So I have dice now. If anybody needs some, just let me know, I've got them. And they're my favourite blue as well. Such a cool blue. Anyway, the deal is, I have written a list of all the things that I would like to put in a sketchbook. I've got people, places, objects, memories, dreams, and comic strips. So when it's sketchbook time, I roll the dice, and if it's number 6, it's comic strip. If I roll the dice and it's number 1, it's people. And it just takes away the pressure of going, oh, I don't know what to draw, and then the time's gone and you have to go and make dinner or something. So this is the way to go, people. If you want to practice art, get a dice. Here endeth the lesson. You'll only get that reference if you've been to church. Anyway, that's enough from me. It really is enough from me. I am still too hyper. This is ridiculous. Anyway, one last thing to do. Do you remember what we do? What the last thing we do is? Who comes in? Oh, hello, Mr. Aardvark. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how silly I am about this little toy. I love my Aardvark. Anyway, Mr. Aardvark's fun fact today is the day after tomorrow is called overmorrow. That's a new one. I didn't know there was a word for the day after tomorrow other than the sentence, the day after tomorrow. It is called overmorrow. Don't get confused if you live in Monmouth, because it's not overmono, it's overmorrow. And again, the reference will be there for local people. Anyway, have a great month, however next long it is until I do another one of these. And yeah, have a great time. Enjoy the sun. It's incredible. It's beautiful. Get your asses out there. Get suntan. Enjoy it. Be loud and be proud and happy. And I'm too hyper. Good night.